Is NIO stock undervalued? Is NIO's market cap too low? Because right now, look at NIO's market cap at only 12.33 billion, Xpeng at 13.32 billion, Li Auto at 34.57 billion. NIO is the lowest in terms of market cap amongst the three. All right, and a while ago, 2 years ago, NIO was the first, was the leader, was number one in terms of market cap compared to the other two. So NIO has fallen to last place amongst the three in terms of market cap, but obviously in terms of technology and everything, NIO is still the first place. But this video, we want to analyze the value of NIO's infrastructure, how much stuff they have, etc. So first of all, after the CYVN second round of funding, they got 2.2 billion. So their cash pile, all right, subtracting Q4 burn rate, maybe around 600 million. They have about 7.5 to 8 billion US dollars in cash, which is pretty decent. All right. Now, let's take a look at what the infrastructure is worth. Okay, so cash, quite good, quite a decent, healthy amount of cash. So we're gonna do swap stations all the way down to delivery centers and what they're worth. So at the end of November, they had 2,217 swap stations. Each swap station cost around 1.5 million RMB to build. Some of the older ones costed 3 million RMB, but we're just gonna say 1.5 million RMB. That's equivalent to around 200K US dollars, which gives us the total swap station value of 443.4 million US dollars just in swap station. All right. Now, charging stations. Now, you guys may or may not know this, but NIO has more charging stations than swap stations. They have 3,488 charging stations at the end of November, and it takes about 60K US dollars upwards to 200K US dollars to build each charging station, supercharger, power charger, because it's so expensive because the transformer costs a lot of money. So roughly about 100K US dollars each. So that means in total, all these charging stations are worth about 345.5 million US dollars in terms of charging stations. Okay, so just on charging and swapping stations alone, it's worth a lot already. Now, NIO houses, this is pretty controversial because some of you guys think it's redundant, it's not useful, but I think it is very useful. These are like advertising storefronts, and they're worth quite a lot of money as well. So each NIO house, some of them are massive, very big, and just to build it, okay, like all the furnishing and everything inside, it would cost around 4 to 5 million RMB to build one NIO house. And that would be a low estimate because some of the NIO houses are very extravagant and will cost significantly more. So that would be a very conservative estimate. So that would be around 1 million US dollar per NIO house. And that's actually very low, to be honest. But for the sakes of this calculation, we're just going to say it's 1 million. So that comes out to 142 million US dollars worth of NIO houses. NIO has 320 NIO spaces. Now, each NIO space can cost anywhere around from 2 to 5 million RMB to build. So that would come out to around 200K US dollars. So the total value of all the NIO spaces would be around 64 million US dollars. Now, service centers. NIO has a lot of these, 315 service centers. Service centers are just also very expensive to build because you have all the tools and everything inside, and it's very big. Service centers are very big. But we're also going to give a conservative estimate of 1 million US dollar per service center. And you guys know, if you want to build your own service center, it's going to cost you a lot more than 1 million. So this is very conservative estimate. 1 million US dollar for a service center. That means 215 million US dollars worth of service centers. All right. pretty interesting. And then delivery centers. Delivery centers are also quite interesting. NIO has some of the biggest delivery centers that you've ever seen. Some of them in Shanghai, just absolutely massive. Just huge, just like a whole building. All right, massive building. So we're also going to be conservative with that. Say it's only worth 1 million per delivery center, so that comes to 62 million. And add these all up, you have 1.3 billion in infrastructure. That's just the cost of infrastructure alone, guys. You add that together, 1.3 billion of infrastructure, add that to $8 billion of cash, you have about 9.3, say $9 billion worth of just tangible stuff, okay? So this is very, very crucial. So that means that at that market cap, it's only 3 billion more than the assets in cash. Now, obviously, there's other assets like patents and all that kind of stuff, and we're not really considering in debt because that is also quite high for NIO, but it's not due until like much later. Okay, so if you consider NIO's burn rate of about 600 million per quarter, which is what they're getting at right now, that amount of money, considering that they're not going to do any more dilutions, that's enough to last them about 4 years. All right, 4 years of continued operations with this burn rate. Now, I do personally expect cash burn to ease once the whole entire infrastructure gets said and done, and also these battery swap partners, they're going to be putting in money to build infrastructure together. So I do have a very optimistic outlook, overall picture with the sub brand coming in. That's going to really help NIO's earnings, and then also these partners with their swap stations, that's also going to really help NIO's earnings as well. So in my personal opinion, all right, not financial advice, I think by the end of this 4-year term, NIO will have everything fixed and good and be essentially profitable, all right, in my personal opinion. Okay, the other thing to consider, price to sales ratio. Some of you guys might not like looking at this, but now it's at 2.14 price per sale. At all-time highs, NIO was at like 23 price per sale. It's pretty undervalued if you look at that metric alone. Now, in terms of the stock, it looks like it's breaking out with decent volume these past couple days. Broke out above that trend line, and we're getting bullish momentum again. So bullish momentum is nice. It looks like it might pull back the next couple days, but hopefully we need 7.9 to hold. And if it does hold and it just continues to rally afterwards, then that might mark a bottom. Okay, that might mark a bottom. But if that price point doesn't hold, 7.9 doesn't hold, gets down to 7.5, then totally expect lower prices to come. All right, that just means momentum has dried up, guys. So hopefully momentum can carry us higher, much higher. That will be very, very good. Look, NIO CEO has said that they are in the value in terms of stock price, all right, and they are going to eventually one day climb back to the mountaintop in terms of stock price, but it really depends on investors having a long-term picture of where everything is headed. And this is, of course, based on NIO's technology. If you think NIO's technology is good, if you think NIO's market dominance is going to last, and if you think NIO's problems right now are temporary, then, and your long-term outlook is optimistic, then perhaps NIO is the right investment for you. All right, and likewise for other companies, they might be selling really well now, but will they be selling really well 3 or 4 years later? That's something you got to think about. All right, because everything right now, what's happening right now has been priced in, but what's happening 4 or 5 years later has not been priced in yet. I definitely fall in the ballpark of thinking that 4 or 5 years later down the line, NIO is going to be at a much better situation with the sub-brand launched and the sub-brand also launched and selling, and all these other partner battery swap stations with the public network getting NIO a ton of money. So that's my more optimistic outlook. And also with energy trading, and that's also going to get NIO quite some money. So I think NIO will continue to be the leader, and in the future, it's going to be more bright, better than it is right now. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. Do you think NIO stock is undervalued? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.